Live from the Rush Point Studios, it's the Pat and Brian Show.
Yeah, we're already in December 5th. Want to wish my brother David a happy birthday.
Younger brother?
No, I'm the baby of the family.
Well, according to the post that you put up there earlier,
I think I said my older brother.
Yeah, you
was
did.
turning another year older. So anyway, yeah, he's I think 5 years older than I am. So, but my oldest brother John, well, I should say my next oldest brother Lee will be turning another year older on the 18th. And then my brother John, I think, is on January 18th. He'll be turning 70. So I've been for the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years asking him the same question. You going to be 70 this year? He's like, don't do that to me. So anyway, well, sorry we didn't make it last week. Totally my fault. So anyway, we are back. It's nice to be back in the studio with Pat. I don't know if you folks saw the fan page or not on Facebook, but I came across some fishing chairs that I thought maybe Pat would like one of those.
No, Brian uses them more than I do, so it'd be more for him than it would be for me.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody get up and go to the bathroom so many damn times while they're fishing.
Well, you know what? I'm diabetic for one thing.
So am I.
Yeah, but I've got a little bit more of a problem with my diabetes than you do, I think. So
yeah, it's old age.
Yeah. You're only 2 or 3 years younger than I am. So
well, that's 100 years in dog life.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway,
speaking of life,
yeah,
we're going to do a little bit tonight. I thought about suicide prevention.
Yep.
And I'll let you start off, but I do have a few numbers here that I've copied and posted on the fan page.
Yeah, and we've got we've got like an epidemic in this country, actually all over the world. So it's not just the U.S., but since we are based in the U.S., we do have a standardized phone number. Was it 988?
Yep, 988.
And similar to 911, but if you have a issue with you're contemplating suicide because you've reached the end of your rope, you're not alone. I mean, I'm gonna admit it. I've thought about it many times, and the only thing that keeps me going is my girls and my granddaughters. But everybody, I don't care what walk of life you're from, has contemplated suicide at one point or another in their life. And I know a lot of kids do when they're young because they're being bullied, and I know for a fact that just from past news stories. Or you ever watch Dateline?
No.
Dateline has had one on there about this one young lady that was telling her boyfriend, why don't you just go ahead and commit suicide? And he did.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
that was all over the news. It wasn't just Dateline.
And I think she got charged.
Yes, she did.
So, and I think that should happen.
I think she got something like 10 years or something.
Yeah, should have been more.
Oh yeah.
Personally, so. But anyway. So we'd like to talk about that. We were planning on having a special guest in the studio, but they backed out.
You want to tell them the reason why they backed out?
Well, do you want to say it?
Sure. They say we don't have enough people watching us.
No. That was the people with the crisis line.
Oh, okay.
No, we're going to have a special guest in the studio. We're going to be talking about the suicide, and they had just lost a loved one, actually 2 loved ones from that. So it's like I said, it's an epidemic that's going through our country and around the world, and it just needs to stop. Maybe if you go to this website here, it's afsp.org. And it's I believe this one's based out of Minnesota. we've been trying to get something that was national, but I guess it doesn't. I don't know if it exists
Well,
or
I
doesn't
have
exist or
I
what,
have
but-
something over here that might help, Brian.
Okay, why don't you tell me what that is?
I posted on a thing. It said National Suicide Prevention. They got a lifeline, and they also have where did it go? Yeah, samhsa.gov for mental health.
Mhm.
Excuse me, mental health. The America.net finding help. You know, and then when you dial the 988,
Mhm.
if you're a veteran, press 1.
Okay.
You know, you have that there as well. Also, if you just need someone to talk to, you can text 741-741 to talk to a crisis person who will be more than happy to help you.
Right. And there is like that you said, the Veterans Crisis Line. There's also a crisis text line, and that's the one you were just saying. You can text talk to 741-741, and you'll be texting with a trained crisis counselor for free. Doesn't cost anything. 24/7. So
I mean, even if you're not the person who's thinking
Yeah.
of committing suicide or
Right.
anything like that, you can still dial the number and find out how to get that person help.
Yeah.
Now, for instance, we talked a couple of weeks ago about the situation where parents and military had warned that the gentleman should not be around firearms and was not mentally stable,
mhm.
and nobody listened to the military or the parents. And in doing so, the person was killed or committed suicide, I should say.
Yeah.
So there is help out there. Don't be afraid to ask for it.
That's right. You can find local chapters around you too. Let's see. I'm just doing a search right now. Let's see. Yeah, there's one. Says area director of Minnesota, and that's 507-738-0725. And if you want to, if you're not thinking about suicide, if you just want to help out in some sort of way, you can also volunteer as well. So again, go to the website. It's afsp.org, and there's that website's just full of stuff that will help you in making decisions, clear decisions based on fact. But there's just so many different bunch of information on there. Suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the U.S. In 2021 alone, 48,183 Americans died by suicide. In 2021, there were an estimated 1.7 million suicide attempts. That's a lot. It's way too many. Yeah.
That's too many.
There shouldn't
That's
be.
that's like saying for every million people is 14 suicides
Right.
happening.
Now, I've been touched by suicide. I had a couple of. I had one friend in grade school, but I hadn't seen him in years. But I found out that he committed suicide. Then one of my classmates from my high school committed suicide later in life. Now we weren't. I mean, the first guy was actually my best friend when I was growing up out in South Dakota, and then, but the other guy, he was just one of my classmates. I wasn't real close to him or anything like that, but still, it still impacts you, and it's not a fun thing to go through. That's for sure. Additional facts about suicide in the U.S. The age-adjusted suicide rate in 2021 was 14.04% per, I should say 14.04 per 100,000 individuals. The rate of suicide is highest in middle-aged white men. In 2021, men died by suicide 3.9 times more than women. On average, there are about 132 suicides per day. White males accounted for 69.68% of suicide deaths in 21. And in 2021, firearms accounted for 54.64% of all suicide deaths.
When you're talking seniors, there's help for seniors out there too. It's senior linkage line,
Yeah.
or disability linkage line as well.
Mm-hmm.
The linkage lines for seniors is 1-800-333-2433. And the disability is 1-866-333-2466.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to call these numbers.
Yeah, don't be afraid. And if you have a question or comment or anything you want to chime in on our YouTube chat, please do so. I've got it down to we can get a message every 1 second now. So if you want to chat, if you want to pull something in or something comes to mind about suicide, maybe you had a friend or a neighbor or a loved one that committed suicide or is thinking about doing that, and you want some help. Again, you can call that 988 number. You can do the text is 174. Is it again?
741-741. You got
Dyslexia. Here we go again. But anyway, just type in talk, and you'll get a person, live person, not a automated thing. So there's too many automated things in the world these days.
Well, yeah, we need to turn back the time and talk to real people. This artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but that's all garbage as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more personal, human to human.
Mm-hmm. It's nothing like talking to a person.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, you can go through our YouTube channel and you can chat with us live right now if you want. Just remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. No swearing, please.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Really?
that's what it says.
Oh boy.
So anyway, can't be a potty mouth like Pat all the time. So
well, it falls under the Freedom of Speech Act,
Yeah.
freedom of press.
Yeah.
If you want to speak your mind, you speak your mind, and they can't censor you for it.
Well, yeah.
You do have rights.
Well, they actually can censor you. The FCC allows you to be censored if you use those explicit words.
They're words. They're in the dictionary.
I know. But
so you know what? They
Yeah.
can just take a flying leap.
yeah, I know. Bella chimes in. She says, "Good evening. If someone has considered suicide during a difficult situation, how likely would this person be to consider again, faced with another difficult decision?" I mean,
Well,
speaking from experience, I've had lots of different situations like that where I felt like, really?
Well, some of the signs that you need to watch out for, stressful things in life.
Yeah.
Rejection, divorce, financial crisis, other life transition or loss.
Mm-hmm.
You can have some traumatic happening in your life that can cause it. A family history.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And also, you can have childhood stuff that happened.
Trauma. Yeah.
Trauma and stuff like that happen in your
Mhm.
life. The loss of a loved one. I mean, personally, yeah, I've considered it.
Yeah.
Years and years ago, back in 2006,
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it. In 2000, I thought about it. And I tried to seek help. And when I walked into the office and I sought help at that time, some of you may not believe it, but they looked at me and said, "You're a man, deal with it."
Yeah.
And I looked at them and said, if I was black, if I was Indian, Asian,
You'd want to help.
you'd want to help me in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But because I'm a white
Mm.
male,
Yeah.
an American,
Mm-hmm.
and you're telling me I can't have help because I'm a man.
Yeah.
Don't let them do that to you.
Yeah, things have, like I said before, things have changed quite a bit when it comes to getting help. I mean, they first of all made up this this new crisis line phone number. So, and then some people can't talk over the phone because it's just too uncomfortable for them. So they developed the text, which is good. But yeah, getting back to Bella's question, yeah, I've considered suicide before, and I'm sure I will do it again eventually. I've had depression since I was a kid, off and on, and now I'm medicated, which is, I think, good because I haven't really had any issues with thinking about it anymore. Which is kind of goofy because that one of the side effects is thinking about suicide.
That's one on the medication.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of goofy, but but anyway, yeah, it's just if you think that if you're having a crisis, no matter how big or small it is, it could be just minute to everybody else, but it's a major thing for you. Then
You also got to watch
then seek
for
help.
you got to watch for a few things too, like people becoming distant.
Yeah.
People that you talk to every day that are becoming distant from you, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden they feel like they've regrouped, or they're happy all the time. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
then they revert back to, I want to say shyness, but it's not shyness, being reclusive maybe.
Yeah.
You got to watch for those signs too,
Mhm.
and it's not easy with the signs because each person is different.
Yep.
So you got to know what to look for, and sometimes if you're not too sure, ask a professional.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
even that, or just you don't necessarily need to go behind anybody's back and just say, hey, Bella, what's wrong? What's the problem? I mean, you want to talk about it? I'd be more than happy to talk about it.
I mean,
If it's really difficult, that's fine. I'm not going to repeat what you say unless you want me to. So
yeah, I agree with that. Like,
Yeah.
for example, I'm going to use something I did many years ago for an example.
Yeah.
At the time, I was homeless, and I met this young fella. I think I was like 19 years old
mhm.
when this happened. I met this young fella late at night, and he was complaining that he didn't want to live anymore because his parents were treating him so bad that he wasn't getting anywhere. Now, mind you, this fellow was 14 years old.
Yeah.
He wanted to quit school. And I said, I tell you what, we can talk for as long as you'd like,
Mhm.
And I would meet this fellow every night for 9 months.
Yeah.
And I talked him out of it.
Mhm.
I explained to him how not so bad that his life actually was.
Yeah.
And we kept in contact for many years. His name was Paul.
Yeah.
And he went on to complete high school, to complete college. And he made something of himself. And I got a strange phone call one day,
Yeah.
and it was him. And at the time I was 22, 23, somewhere around there.
Mhm.
And it was his mother. And for the life of me, I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
And she said, whatever you've done with my son, I thank you.
That's cool.
And I said, well, you don't have to thank me for anything that your son didn't already have inside him.
Mhm.
He just needed encouragement from his parents.
Yep.
He needed to have courage himself.
Mhm.
And in doing so, he did very well. I mean, that was one example of how you can just listen, maybe give advice.
Yeah.
Maybe what I did wasn't the correct thing to do. But then again, maybe it wasn't, because I listened to what that person was saying. Sometimes that's all it takes,
Yeah.
is somebody to listen.
A lot of times you don't have to have a license to do that. I mean, you're getting paid for it. Yeah. I think that's the only reason you have to get a license, but other than the state wants money. But yeah, it's just basically talking with someone and repeating back to them basically what they told you is a key to listening. Now, my wife will argue with me all the time. You don't listen with a crap. It's like, well, it's probably true. It is. I mean, honestly, a lot of times I don't pay attention, and I could joke about it. Well, I'm too poor to pay attention, but
Yeah, we all joke about that.
yeah, but anyway, I mean, yeah, sometimes I don't really pay attention, and a lot of it is probably from just the way I've been all my life. It's kind of hard to get out of that rut. I mean, I'm better than I was, which is good. So, but this isn't really about me, so I don't want to make it about me. But, but anyway, yeah, just listening, and then watching for different signs. Sometimes a person that's getting close or thinking about that's not going to give you any type of sign. They might be just doing their normal thing like they would every day in front of you, and you don't see it because they're not around you at the time. They might be at home when they are contemplating this. I mean, that's a given with anybody.
Well, a friend of mine's father committed suicide, and that was not fun.
No, I bet not.
And believe it or not, 50% of all suicide is done with firearms.
Yeah.
And that's that was what I was saying at the beginning there, where people who are mentally unstable, and it is known by the family, friends, whoever.
Yeah.
And they know what's happening, and they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That is a big red flag.
Yeah.
Saying, okay, here it is. And then you got the people who do know about it and try to do something, and people don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Again, I'm back to the military and the family that kept saying, no, don't let this happen. Don't let this happen.
Right.
And they couldn't get the help, and it happened.
Yeah. And a lot of times you just don't know if it's going to happen or not. I mean, it's one of those strange and mysterious things that you never do know what a person's thinking, because it's not your mind. So we just can't stress enough, if you do have an issue with suicidal thoughts, then you need to get help. That's all I can say to you folks. You've got to get some help, or ask a friend, hey, you know what? I don't feel safe tonight. Can you come over and spend some time with me and play games or whatever? Maybe that's all you need, is someone to come over. You need a friend.
No, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yep.
I see a lot of things on Facebook. I look at Facebook every now and then, and I see a lot of people.
Every now and then? Sorry.
I see a lot of people writing down, my door is always open no matter the time of day.
Yeah.
For a pot of coffee or tea, or you need something to eat.
Yeah.
Or somebody to talk to. Now, I see that on Facebook a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I see people liking it and sharing it. I'm just wondering, do people use it? Is it out there? If I come knocking on your door at 3:00 in the morning, will you open that door?
Yeah.
But with the way things are nowadays, and I'm sorry, folks, but with the way things are nowadays, with so much destruction, so much fear out there.
Yeah.
Will that work? I mean, I think it can, but you're going to be so skeptical that it's not going to be some thug that wants to come in and rob you. So that's a scary aspect.
Yeah.
How well do you know that person that's coming to your door at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, even at midnight?
No, I mean, I understand that completely. I mean, that's a very valid point too. And a lot of times it's easier to talk with a phone because you're not face to face, and sometimes it's harder to talk face to face. I know a lot of times it is for me. I mean, being a radio announcer for such a long time, I've never really looked into a microphone.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, I've thought that too. It's like, gosh, is this all there is in life for me to do? But I really enjoyed it. I mean, I wouldn't be doing the podcast now if I didn't like it. So,
and it's all new to me.
Well, I know,
but then again, it gives me a chance to let out the tiny bits of knowledge that I do have. Then hopefully it might help somebody.
Yeah. And if it wasn't, I mean, I was pretty much a loner, really. My father-in-law, Hugh Peabody, and I were best friends, and we go fishing all the time. And then he got sick and died. It's been 3 years ago now, in December, and I miss him. I really do. My dad died last month. I miss him. Dad and I were not that close. My dad and I were not as close as my father-in-law and I were. Probably because I was the baby of the family. out of 4 boys. But I still loved him. Do I miss him? Yeah, I miss him. And that could be some of the problems too with people that they feel alone, don't have anybody left. Well, both my parents are dead,
Yeah, mine too.
and as a kid, you never think about death like that. I mean, you never think about your parents ever dying.
Well, you may not.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that a lot of kids don't think about that because it just doesn't come into the equation back then. So, I mean, I've known some of my classmates that their parents died, shortly after they were born from one thing or another, but it's just the kids don't really think about it. But being adults, it's a hard thing to cope with. I mean, I have a friend that I won't mention her name, but anyway, she lost her father and then her mother and then her husband. And that's a tough thing to go through.
Yes.
And it's really tough if you don't have somebody to talk to. I tried to be there for her as much as I could. And hopefully that made a difference for her. But it's still very difficult to go through grief. I mean, it's just
Brian, I don't have the chat on my phone, so you have to pull it up. I don't know if anybody's trying to.
Well, let me see here. Nope, I don't have any more chatting. So you don't have the chat on your phone.
No, I don't.
What's wrong with your phone? Well, if you'd go the other way, you'd probably have it.
Nope.
Really? Let me see your phone. Give me that thing. You don't have the chat at all on here? That's weird. Yeah, you do right there. Live chat. Say something.
Oh,
there you go. Okay. All right. Technology. But getting back to this whole thing is, it could be the loss of a loved one. It could be the loss of a pet.
that's a big one for a lot of people who live alone.
Yeah.
Loss of the pet, because a pet becomes a family.
My wife was so dirty to me when she got that dog. I tell you, oh my word, that dog hangs around me all the time, and I've fallen in love with this little thing, Tucker. And
How can you not? How could you not?
I know, and he growls at me because he wants to play. I'll say, well, what do you want, boy? What do you want? And he'll go over to I don't know, you saw that post I put on him about going to the cabinet and, getting my attention. He goes to the cabinet, get treats. Yeah, well, anyway, every once in a while I'll have my next door neighbor, Bee and Gordy, watch them too. And she had said
Here
something.
comes a goldfish.
Yeah, here comes the goldfish. So, but they take care of them every once in a while too for me. And anyway, Gordy just loves that dog. Well, I think Bee does too. So, but anyway, so the loss of a pet, loss of a loved one, mother, father, sister, brother, mom, dad, whatever it might be. So, and it could be divorce.
A close friend too.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you got close friends that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all got a few of those.
And it's like if Pat wouldn't have come into my life, if I wouldn't have moved, across the street from him, I probably still would have been very much a loner. And I'm glad I'm not anymore, because Pat likes to go fishing. I like going fishing, and we get along pretty well.
Yeah, and he's still trying to show me how to fish.
Yeah. He puts up with my grief as much as he can, and vice versa. So, but
yeah, that's why he wants to buy a potty chair.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it would be nice.
I ain't carrying it.
My wife works on the phone a lot of times, and she has to answer phone calls in queue. And sometimes she gets a whole long line of them. I feel bad for people like that, because they have to get up and go to the bathroom. They can't, because they got another phone call, waiting. So it's like maybe they should get a potty chair for them too. So, well, anyway, I'm digressing and I'm getting off the topic, but anyway, Bella, thanks for chiming in on the chat for us, or with us. if you have anybody else out there that wants to chat with us tonight, then go ahead and chime in on our YouTube page. But I was looking at some of the other things here. Surviving a suicide loss. Well, first of all, let me tell you, there was a special on TV. I don't remember when it was, but it's been quite some time ago that somebody was looking for a painless way to die.
No, you're talking about Dr. Kevorkian now?
No, not talking about Kevorkian. But they wanted a painless way to commit suicide. There is no painless way. Not at all. There's always going to be some pain with it.
That should never be a thought in a person's mind.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. It's like, if you're so worried about pain, don't do it. I mean, come on. Nobody likes pain. I don't like pain at all. You live with it all the time.
Yeah, I do.
Actually, I should say your wife lives with it all the time, but
wow. Wow.
I couldn't pass it.
Yeah, I see how it is.
Couldn't pass it up at all. But anyway, you got that. If you need to find a support group, do that.
Or take the initiative and form a support group.
Yeah, definitely. What would it hurt? Really wouldn't hurt anybody. So if you didn't do it. I
mean, you want to make that kind of commitment, make it.
Yeah. And there's videos and stuff on this website too, the afsp.org. There's videos from people that have had suicide touch their lives. Maybe you're being rejected because of your sexual orientation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. Personally, I don't care about sexual orientation. I mean, if you're gay or you're lesbian or whatever, to each his own. I'm not the judge and jury. Nobody else is on earth either, that matters. So, I mean,
well, you say that, but there are.
Well, no, yeah, there are people that are very biased from their religious experiences, or they're just from their feelings or thoughts or whatever. But don't let that cloud your judgment. Don't let that person tell you what you need to do, because they'd have no clue where you're at. So
nobody has the right to tell you what you can and cannot do with your life.
That's right.
It is your decision.
Mm-hmm. And they've got suicide after a suicide toolkit for schools information in there too. So if you've had a friend that committed suicide from your school, one of your classmates, or just somebody that you knew, maybe a brother or sister from one of your classmates or whatever, and you're having a tough time with that, you can go to this website.
My question, Brian.
Sure.
If they have all this help out there, especially for, well, call them what they are, crisis counselors.
Mm-hmm.
How long is that counseling available for? Is it just for a short time, or is it for a long period?
I would think
that's the question that I'd like to have an answer to, and I'm sure many others, would like to have that answer as well.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of people out there who, okay, we'll give you this much help for this many weeks, and after that, you're on your own.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like the insurance
thing.
I mean, if you go to a doctor and they put you in the hospital because of you're having mental health breakdowns or whatever, I think what the maximum time that you can spend in there is
3 weeks.
It's either
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay, we'll say 3 weeks then. Before insurance runs out. Then where are you? Then you got to pay how much a day? $400 or $500 a day or more.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, but it's basically a hotel that you're staying in. There's a place for you to eat, sleep.
And they medicate you.
Yeah.
Instead of giving you the help that you actually need,
hmm.
they give you antipsychotic drugs.
Well, sometimes that is the prerequisite, and it's probably helpful that they do.
Yeah, I understand it may be helpful, but when you have that antipsychotic drug forced on you, saying you need to take this
Well-
or else what?
You can always say no.
Yeah, you can always say no, but if you don't take it, they'll say, well, you're more mental than we thought you were, and then they'll want to lock you in an insane asylum.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, depending on the situation.
Yeah. Well, it's like, HIPAA rules have changed quite a bit over the years, and just in the past 4 or 5 years actually, they've changed quite a bit. So and you've got rights as a patient no matter what.
Not in New York anymore.
Really.
In New York, they passed an Article 231,
Hmm.
and that entails that they can come into your house for any reason at all and take you out of it.
Really.
Yep.
Oh.
If you have any sort of communicable disease,
Really.
or if they think of something else,
Hmm.
they can take you out of your house
Really.
regardless and experiment on you.
I hadn't heard that.
No.
What'd you say it was? Article 231.
Yeah, New York statute something 231. I don't know if it's completely true or not,
Okay.
but this is what I recently discovered, and I'm like, that can't be true.
Hmm.
And I don't have a computer to go and check these things out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that can't be right. I mean, that is literally your rights being taken away from you. I mean, it's
Is it, you say 230 or
231.
1?
New York's Article 231 or something like that. I mean, there's a big to-do, and people voted against it, but for somehow, some way, they say it got passed.
Well, it's not 231. Might be 232. Let me just look.
Yeah, it
232.
said 231.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with that kind of stuff. Let's see.
Do you type in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's probably not real because this doesn't have anything to do with other than sharing tenancy of an apartment. You can't share it. Can't be a monthly tenant with somebody else.
No,
Living there,
no, that's completely different.
Okay. Well,
I'll have to try to find it again and show it to you.
that would be good.
Yeah.
Like to see it. Well, anyway, so we've been talking about this, and we can probably talk for another hour or so, but we're not going to. I just wanted to hit on the topic because it's important to me, important to a lot of people.
It's important to everybody.
Yeah. So I mean, if you have any issues, whether it be for yourself or somebody else, and you need help, call 988.
The veterans press 1.
And then what's that text?
741-741.
And just type in talk, and you'll get someone that's live, and you can talk to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So,
Yeah.
Right.
24/7.
That's right.
So
So,
all you got to do instead of typing in talk, you can say help or I need help.
Yeah.
Well,
I think don't they have the new text service now for like the 911? For like police and sheriff's office?
I don't know if they've got that here yet.
I thought they did.
I mean, I know some areas are experimenting with it to see how well it works before it gets branched out to all of the units.
I know that, and I think that'd be a real good thing because a lot of times if you're hiding from somebody breaks into your house and they've already killed one person or whatever, or tied up one person, and
You're talking about the 911 text.
Yeah,
Where you don't have to use your voice.
right.
No, that's not in this area yet. It's in oh boy. I think it was in St. Paul, or
Okay.
I think they're
Yeah.
testing it out there to see how well it works.
Mhm.
And if it works well there, they're going to branch out elsewhere.
Yeah.
And they're going to give it from what I understand, they're going to give it for free to start off with.
Mhm.
And I don't know where that's going to go from there.
Well, I don't think that they can charge for that.
Yes, they can. The people who developed it, yes, they can.
Well, I understand that part. I'm just saying, since it's like 911, it's a free call. It'd have to be a free text.
Yeah, but
some sort,
they're giving the system for free to right now.
Yeah.
If it works, to
the company that, yeah,
Right.
okay, I understand.
not charging the people that are calling into it.
Right.
They're charging the people who
I'm-
have the system to. You had that little misconstrued there, boss.
Understand now, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very
Sure
much.
you do. Go
Wow.
back in the backwoods.
Um, before we go on the suicide thing, one of the best movies that I've encountered, especially during the Christmas season, I think this is probably also why the movie was made, but it's called A Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed.
Now you're talking about the one where he goes to the bridge and is ready to commit suicide, and the
Yeah,
angel
yeah.
stops him,
Yeah, yeah.
and then shows him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie has more meaning
Mhm.
to more people in the world
Yep.
than it's actually realized. Do you know they're ready to take that off the air? They're ready to not do that anymore.
Oh, I don't think they should.
No.
That's like the
No.
best movie. I've watched it probably probably a couple hundred times.
Oh yeah, I've watched it
Yeah.
quite a few times myself. I like the movie, and the other
Yeah.
one was Miracle on 34th Street.
I've seen that once or twice.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Shawshank Redemption. I could watch that over and over and over, and not get sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably know all the lines in the entire movie, but still not get sick of it because I always see something different every time I watch it. Kind of the same way with It's a Wonderful Life. So,
Yeah.
but
And on the lighter side of that, you got the White Christmas with Bing Crosby.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
I like the one in Vermont where it never snowed and whatnot, and finally on Christmas Eve it snowed.
That was Holiday Inn, I think, wasn't it?
No, that was up in that was in a barn up in Vermont somewhere.
Oh, okay. I can't remember. A lot of those old movies, it's like they don't really stick with me, but some do, some don't.
Wow.
But hey, if you ever get a chance to watch a great movie, Ed O'Neill, who played what was his name on Married with Children? Ed Bundy? Ted Bundy? No, not Ted Bundy.
No, that's Ted Bundy.
No, not Ted Bundy. He was a murderer. Al Bundy.
Al Bundy.
Yeah. Well, he was in a movie called Dutch. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie or not.
I think I
It's a
did.
great movie. It's about about a little spoiled brat kid that doesn't want to go home to his mom's for Christmas because his rich dad, is going to come pick him up, and his rich dad ditched him basically. So Ed O'Neill goes down and picks up this kid.
Kind of like Little Orphan Annie.
Well, yeah, but anyway, this kid just is a bully all the way through till about halfway through the movie. Then he starts to wisen up, and it's like, really, you're a working class stiff, and you want me in your life? It's like I'm too good for you. That's how it started out with, basically. But great movie, great movie. We get a chance to see it. I don't remember what the kid's name is, but in the movie, but my grandmother-in-law and I used to watch that all the time when we were. I would go up to a little town called Antrim, New Hampshire, and I lived up on the East Coast, and we'd watch that, or we'd watch
Be honest with you.
Sister Act.
Yeah, Sister Act. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good too.
Yeah.
I kind of missed the East Coast myself. I missed the fall.
Oh yeah,
You know, the fall up there was beautiful.
New Hampshire,
Oh yeah.
White Mountains of New Hampshire
Yeah.
in the fall was just gorgeous. So yeah, I
Old
like,
Route 1 where they got the I
Yeah.
call it the Tunnel of Leaves.
Mhm.
You go through there, the whole town
Yeah,
just on
yeah.
Main Street, and like you're going through a tunnel.
Yep.
And the leaves just crisscross the road, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I lived up in Derry for several years up there, and beautiful little town. And they had one thing that put them on the map, and that was a murder it was a teacher involved with a student, and the student got together with the teacher and killed her husband.
Didn't she get pregnant too, or something like that?
I don't.
Or was that the other
remember.
one?
I don't remember.
I don't know. There's been so many of them,
My-
teacher-student things.
My first wife went to school with her,
Okay.
but that's probably why I got divorced. Anyway.
Well, we won't go there.
Anyway.
We won't tell that story, I guess.
Next week we're gonna watch Pat get a live on the air vasectomy. So
No, hell no, hell to the no.
oh, what? You think we're getting another one? We did-
No,
no, we didn't. Yeah, he was all worried that his wife was gonna chime in. It's like, what are you talking about?
Hey, I got a question for you, Brian.
Sure.
Why the hell did you shave it off?
You know, I have problems sometimes with it just itching.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just drives me nuts.
it's a scratch.
Yeah, I do a lot. I woke up one morning and I had scratch marks on my face. So
I won't ask, but anyway.
yeah, I know. His mind always goes there for some reason.
Well,
Yeah, you don't have to elaborate. Not on my account.
well, no, it's just a common sense.
Yeah. Well, I had a mustache for a while, and it just started going every which direction, even though I put some gel in it. So I just got a wild hair and decided to shave that, and then I started growing everything back, just letting it grow. I figured, well, screw it, I won't have to use the razor for a while. So my mustache doesn't grow as fast as my beard does, which is kind of weird, but it's always been that way. But I get 5 o'clock shadow, at noon a lot of times after shaving in the morning. So
yeah, well,
and sometimes I don't feel like taking a shower that day or whatever. It all depends on what I've been doing. I've been sitting around doing nothing. I'm not sweating. I'm not stinking. So, but and I've got certain people around my house that would tell me if I was, namely my wife.
Well, yeah. Dog's not going to talk to you unless you understand bark.
Yeah. Unless the dog all of a sudden stays away from me.
Hey, speaking of dogs and bark and talking to you, have you ever seen Narnia?
No.
And I call it the Narnia Chronicles, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was quite interesting when my kids were young.
Well, I got to tell you this. This is just too funny. Tucker, my little puppy, is 4.5 years old. Shih Tzu. Doesn't look like Chewy anymore, by the way. Bella chimed in one time on Facebook. Looks like Chewy. He actually did. But anyway, if I happen to pass gas, the dog pays really close attention. Like, where'd that come from? Huh? Looks all around, So it's funny. But the first time we got him, he's laying on the couch, and I was laying on the couch too. And I let one go. And it was pretty bad.
Why are we talking about farts? That's a stinky subject.
Yeah, just to let everybody know that I'm a human being too. But anyway, it was so bad the dog got up and left the room. So anyway, yeah, I've been known to hospitalize children.
Wow.
Yeah. Clear entire auditoriums out. So. And then there's Pat.
Hey, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Like that time we went up to Rush Lake and you let one go and all the fish came up to the surface, gasping for air.
Oh my God! You want to hear a tall tale? Just ask Brian. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Speaking of going fishing,
yeah,
I don't do ice fishing.
Yeah,
and I know you don't either.
No,
but anybody out there have any ideas that winter is here? Give some ideas that what you think Brian and I should go give a shot. See if it's something that we like or something you'd like to see us do.
What are you talking about? Ice fishing?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be ice fishing. And I can put you in one of those. No, I couldn't do that either. Well, there goes that idea.
What's that?
Well, I'd say put you in one of them wheelchairs for ice.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to push it because my back wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, I'm sure not.
Yeah, but turn it around, you can do it to me though, and then just throw me across the ice and see how far I go.
Be spinning wheels.
Instead of shuffleboard on ice, we can shuffle humans.
Well, maybe we should talk about Rush Point Store. Maybe
somebody
down there might be able to help.
Talking about Miss Alyssa.
Yeah.
In our Rush Point Store, who's had a bunch of sales going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she still has the what do you call them, augers, ice augers, or something like that.
I'm sure they got it all the time.
She had it for like what was it, $100 off, $70 off?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was.
But anybody around here in Minnesota needs some ice fishing gear,
Mm-hmm.
please go to Rush Point Store.
I've been actually thinking about doing some ice fishing, but I don't know that I want to get out there and chop holes in the ice. I'd rather have somebody, come out and do it for me, so I don't have to worry about it.
Well,
I don't wanna-
you don't want to lose the machine down and it falls apart and it goes and
that
it
would be the
sinks.
first thing that would happen to me too. But I don't want to go out someplace where it's really, really deep. It's like not Fanny, but Joe's Lake. A lot of people call it Joe's Lake out here.
Mm,
Lake Elizabeth.
okay.
It's right off of, you can see it from Highway 65 in Cambridge.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. You remember where we come out of Fanny from?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then you
yeah,
take
I'm
a
sorry.
take a left, go around the height of the.
Well, you
the
never go the
school.
same way, so I can't remember crap.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Lake Elizabeth is on that. Is if you head north on 65, it's on the right hand side, just before you get up to Highway 95, and you can see it. And then there's a little trickle of a stream that goes over to Elm Lake, and it's like I would try it there because I know it's only about 4 feet deep, if that. So I wouldn't have a problem with that over there. I just don't want to get into anything.
Where are you going to
where-
fish in about a foot of water?
No. I want to fish, but not have to fish where it's like 20 feet down.
No, we can always go to Lake Mille Lacs.
Well, yeah, I could do that too. It's like 20 feet all over the place, isn't it?
No.
No?
It's like what did they tell me? From the shore out to about 30, 40 feet out, it's like 10 to 15. Then out further, it gets deeper.
No.
You got your shallow spots, your deep spots,
So you got muddy spots, sandy spots.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like a whole bunch of different things.
sand in your underwear, maybe
Yeah.
if you're lucky.
Mhm. Better than skid marks.
Oh,
But and then but yeah, I was actually thinking about maybe trying to find a collapsible fish house that we could carry, kind of like a tent, so we wouldn't have the wind blowing on us. I don't know. Do you have to have? I wonder if you have to have those things licensed at all. I know you do if you have it like overnight.
I don't know.
I don't think that you have to have the tents and stuff like that. I don't think you have to get those licensed. I should see if I can get a hold of a DNR person and have them come in and talk about that. But anyway, do something like that and then go fishing. But I really would like you to teach me how to fillet again, or at least if we catch fish, have you fillet them for me.
Well, it's not that hard. I'll have to sharpen up a few knives.
Yeah, I mean, because I like fish a lot. It's good for me.
Well, it's good for everybody except for those of us who can't eat it.
Yeah, but
Filleting
anyway.
a fish is not that difficult as long as you have a sharp enough knife.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be able to do it real good, but my hand shakes so stinking much, and when I'm pressing down, it shakes even more. It's called that stress tremor, and so it's hard for me to hold a knife. Plus, I've got that neuropathy starting in my fingertips too. So that's
So you got numbing neuropathy in the fingertips.
yeah. Going to hell in a handcart. So
Are you sure you're not there already?
yeah,
You do. We do live in Minnesota after all.
That's true.
Minnesota.
I've
Speaking
actually,
of which, we got snow last night.
yeah, I know, and it's still on the ground.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah,
It's all right. It'll be gone tomorrow.
I shoveled off my patio. So,
Yeah, you should have let the snow there, by the way.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I found out on my way in.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It was a little, yeah, a little oops, twinged a little.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a 50-pound bag of salt in my trunk. I could have put some down, but I don't like putting salt on.
It's bad for Tucker.
Yeah, I
So
know
don't do it.
I know. So anyway, but then in another way, I kind of like it because somebody slips that I don't like. It's like,
Oh, I see how it is.
You know.
I see how it is.
no, I'm not saying. I wouldn't say you. So some people that would come to the house like solicitors and politicians and that kind of thing.
Mm.
So yeah, I actually been thinking about getting one of those little signs that says something about no soliciting at all, no religion, no politics. I don't want to buy your books or your flowers or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
well.
a lot of people don't read or can't. So, well, I don't know how to read. Okay.
So
That's
you put a
fine.
picture up there.
Yeah.
You can do.
Loaded shotgun.
You could do what one person did when a Jehovah Witness
Oh,
came to
my.
their door.
Yeah.
I laugh because it's funny. And I guess if I say what it is, I'd probably get censored.
I'm not going to censor you.
Well, you may not, but
No.
somebody else might.
Well, we might get kicked off of YouTube or land up in YouTube jail or something. Who knows?
Well, just think about a 4-foot prophylactic, cylindrical shaped,
Say no more.
and strapped to the body, and you went to the door.
Say no more. Say no more.
I saw that. I
Yeah,
saw that one time, and I'm like, oh my god! If they didn't go running away from the
Yeah.
door after that,
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
the heading comes to mind. You want to put that where?
Yeah. Getting awfully deep in here all of a sudden.
Well, you're talking about solicitors and
Yeah, I know,
whatnot.
I
I mean
know.
that fits under that umbrella, you know.
Well, I've had. I mean, I don't mind if the Jehovah's Witnesses come up to my door. I mean, I really don't. It's their religion. That's fine. Just don't push it on me.
Well, see,
If you
that's
start pushing it on me, then I'm gonna push back,
yeah. See, that's how I feel.
and things are gonna get ugly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay.
And,
But I don't care. You know, they can talk all they want. I mean, I had one guy that was handing out little pamphlets, and he said, I just was in the area and I just wanted to stop and talk, about Jesus and all that. And I said, that's fine. I said, I don't have a whole lot of time right now. I'm right in the middle of cooking, which wasn't a lie. I was actually cooking that day. But I said, I'll take your pamphlet, and if I want to talk more to you, I'll give you a call, because he had a number on the back of his pamphlet. So, oh, that sounds fair. Okay. And he wanted to keep on going. It's like, man, I don't want to shut the door in your face, but I need to get back to the stove. So,
yeah.
and so he let me go. But I've had politicians where, I just come home from wherever and I've seen them walking around the neighborhoods. Like, oh, crap, you're going to hit my house too, I'm sure. Sure enough, they do. I don't answer the door a lot of times.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that because, well, I had a politician come to the door one day.
Yeah.
And my question to the politician was, what are you going to do about the crime? You know what the only thing he could talk about?
What?
He can only talk about some bridge that's been closed down for 10 years,
Yeah. They want
trying to get it reopened,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
instead of talking about the real issues.
Yeah.
Who cares about a bridge that's been closed for 10 years?
yeah.
So,
That's for the tree huggers.
well, I told him to get lost.
Yeah.
And I said, if you're not going to answer my questions, I won't vote for you.
Yeah.
Get lost.
I mean, I've told politicians in the past, I said, you guys promise everything under the sun to get in there, but when you actually get in there, you don't, oh gosh, I never said that.
Hmm.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
You don't lie to me after you've, basically said, hey, vote for me and I'll work on getting these problems resolved. Yeah.
Yeah, crack of shit. But anyway,
Yep.
enough of politics.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Yeah.
There's only a couple of viewers out there, and we've taken pictures of a few places we've been fishing. Let us know where you want us to try beginning of the year.
Yeah. And we're still planning on doing some sort of a contest with First Point Store in the springtime, when the fishing around the fishing opener type or time, I should say.
You're gonna call it the one that got away?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Pat's the one that got away. So,
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
yeah. Some bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Well, at least when I told that fish story, it was the truth. It's not like some of these
Oh, I
guys.
know,
It's
I
not
know.
like some of these guys coming home. I had one that was this big.
Yeah. Man,
No.
he swallowed a big he chewed off one of the tires on my truck too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, anyway, we appreciate you sticking around with us tonight, and for those that chimed in, Miss Bella, I appreciate that. Can always count on Bella. She's really good at chiming back in. So, but if you have questions or comments after the fact, you can always email them to us. That's patandbrianviral@gmail.com. Again, that's patandbrianviral@gmail.com. Before we go, give the hours for the Rush Point store, if you would.
I was just about to do that.
Okay.
You're
okay.
reading my mind? Get out of my head.
Yeah,
get out of my head, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh no, he's going to use that puker sound to him. Hey, everybody, we're going to do that. Okay.
Sundays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Mhm.
Go ahead and stop on by. Give her a shout.
Yeah.
If you need to call and see if they have anything available, the telephone number is I don't know.
It's right
Oh,
on the-
there it is.
Yeah, it's on there.
763-689-1088.
Okay. Well, sounds like a
And
plan.
I guess you can go to website too and see if they have what you need.
Yeah. All right.
Rushpoint1879 at gmail.com.
All right. Again, if you want to send us something, it's Pat and Brian Viral at gmail.com. We'll see you next week.
Good night, all.